Hey, what's up, everybody? Lawler here. I apologize for the terrible quality, so we're going to make this quick. For those that don't know, I'm actually in Atlanta, Georgia right now at the CECC Championships, the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. We had like 64 teams, 400 plus players, like a bunch of stuff. There was like Overwatch, Rocket League, Valorant, whatever. Covered like four different titles, worked like 28 hours in 2 days, so I'm absolutely beat. I haven't even finished changing. Like, it's been a long couple days. But even with that said, we do have some Regional 1 recap for Europe to get through. I tried to tune in when I could this weekend. There was a lot of really exciting things. I ended up watching the first day, but a lot of these actually escaped me. I didn't get really the ability to watch too much because I had a 16-hour day on Saturday, and today we had a 12-hour day. No, I don't know, like 12 hours. It's a lot of hours that we've been working. So I tried to tune in when I could. I actually talked about this in my prediction video about how I expected there to be a lot of depth in Rocket League, especially in Europe, this regional. But I did not think it was going to be like this. Some things I was right on the money with. Some other things I was nowhere near the mark. But that just seems to be EU in general. So really exciting stuff. I'm going to talk more so openly about it, step by step, rather than going through each individual thing because I only got to hear bits and pieces and like look at what other people were saying around the scene, but I did get to watch a majority of day one. Primarily, a couple things to take away. Obviously, first and foremost, Moist Esports being in the scene, absolutely fantastic. What they are doing, the fact that Charlie and them doing watch parties, pulling as many viewers as they are, the genuine excitement. While they not be the most educated on the game, it is awesome to just see that endemic like we love esports and we're going to support our team and it's going to provide a different perspective than other places are. So really like what Moist is doing. Super happy for them and their success. We saw a lot of new rosters come to fruition. We saw K Corp with Nolly play pretty well. Solary, the former Netherlands roster in IWO, looking really, really good. As I assumed they had potential to. I didn't know how good it was going to be, but top six potential for sure. We'll get into more specifics with that later. We saw Endpoint obviously with their new roster. Curious on how Archie was going to fit in. We saw Team Liquid's first debut in the RLCS because they didn't qualify during winter, seeing if they could finish like a top eight. Team Vitality looking really good with Redosin against high prolific teams. BDS now with Seiko. Is it going to live up to the hype? Now that all French squad, is it going to be what we think it is? Yeah, we all assume that they're going to be really good. Luminosity was a team that has always kind of drawn the short straw in the bracket, and were they going to be able to persist past? A lot of these questions were answered. We also saw three old players make their return. BS Plus with Freaky, we had Tadpole come back, and then we also had Fruity with SK Gaming. So familiar faces that we haven't seen in a really long time in the main event, making their way back in. So that was really cool. We do see BS Plus go 0-2, we do see Wild go 0-2, and we do see SK go 0-2. So again, making the main event is the first step, but then it only gets more difficult from there. My biggest surprise, Evil Geniuses. I finally give them love. I give them credit, talk about their consistency, and then they go 0-2. They go to game 5 against Team Liquid and lose in the last like 30 seconds of that game, and then they actually end up dropping to Misfits going 0-3. Sometimes that's the crazy way it goes. I remember talking with my chat, and they're like, between EG, Misfits, and Endpoint, like one of those teams isn't gonna like two of those teams won't progress past. And it was like coming down to this wire of like, what is happening in Europe? Like there is so many good teams, and the talent spreads between so many different rosters that as a fan, like we're getting into lower round 2, and you're just like, I'm not really upset about any of these matches. All these are phenomenal. You saw Dignitas go out from what 9 to 12th place. Like what Endpoint's out, Dignitas is out, Luminosity barely. Like they had a really good series against K Corp that I think there was an overtime right away, and then K Corp started to show that offense that we've been excited about with Nolly. You saw Semper actually go through some pretty resilient matches with Wolves putting up a pretty solid fight, which is really cool. Misfits finally showing, hey, we're back into top 6 potential, so that was awesome. But the big takeaways, number one, Moist is still God tier. The ex-Queso roster is still super good. I expect them to continue their dominance as their play style is arguably one of the best, if not the best, in the world. Them and G2, I expect to see some run-in again in the future to test it, but when you are providing a different perspective of BDS trying to be in that conversation as well, who knows how it'll play out, but The ability for them to work in fakes, the ability to go for certain challenges or air dribbles just to set up a teammate that comes flying in. Moist does it in a way that I think is a little less predictable, and it is so frequent that it's really tough to read. Despite that, they go up against that new Solar roster with Mike Boy, and Oli. 4 overtimes, just probably one of the best series. I was watching that on my phone while on the desk for a little bit, and that game is absolutely phenomenal. I think it was like a total of, I don't know, like 9-10 minutes total of overtime in that entire series. Absolutely insane. We did see Vitality put up a really good fight. BDS came out of the gate swinging, and then I got closer as time went on until BDS really started to run with it. I made a very ridiculous prediction bracket saying, hey, the more reps that BDS gets, the better they're going to look. Turns out they didn't need more. Turns out they're just that good. They in the upper bracket ended up playing Moist and also going to 7. The fact that BDS is now going to 7 against Moist and suddenly falling out early, keeping it close, multiple overtimes, 3 in total. Absolute nail biter. When BDS's offense is clicking, though, this is the thing everybody was afraid of. When you bring in a player like Seiko into your team, everybody speaking their native tongue, is it going to become even more threatening? And the answer is yes. You're probably seeing a bunch of highlights over this conversation from Reddit. You're seeing the multiple clips from all these different players. It is pretty insane seeing how well some of these team plays are looking for Moist, as well as the contrast from the other side of things. You're seeing Alpha 54 look like he is this next up and coming. Again, he's been hard carrying, pulling like 1,000 points a game. And I was curious on how his role was going to apply with Radosin coming in, and it seems like they're picking up where they left off and showing that they're another competitive roster. So pretty surprising stuff. But I think my biggest surprise and my biggest one that I take away is probably got to go to Solary. We saw a lot of potential of them in IWO, but again, the only competition they really had in IWO was Cookster's team for Italy and the full former Vitality squad for the French team. And I was curious on if it was going to translate after it had been so long since IWO, and it most certainly has. Top 4 finish is something they should be very proud of. So really awesome stuff. And their losses come from Moist and Moist. It's the only team they lost to. So for Solar to have the success they did, and the only team they lose to is what many argued one of the most consistent teams in Europe right now, you got to be pretty dang happy about that. It also allows them to see, like, hey, this is a play style that we struggle with. Time to make adjustments and try to adapt to that. So really cool stuff. Solar really, really impressing me. I knew they had a lot of talent. You also saw Team Liquid place top 8. Proud of them for that as well, trying to get over the nerves and get out of their own way. We know there's a lot of young talent on their roster, and them performing the way that they did, I think they should be very proud of in their debut. Awesome to see Misfits get back into the top 6. K-Corp with Nolly, new roster getting back in the mix. But yeah, we've got some familiar faces, but you're also seeing some new iterations. Some of these changes really come into play and make a big difference for some of these teams. So awesome stuff all around. I told you guys it was going to be a short video. I don't even know if we hit the full time length that we need, but we'll figure it out either way. But again, if I missed a bunch of things, maybe there will be a bunch of highlights at the end of the video to kind of talk about it. But after working like legitimately 28 hours on the desk in 2 days, 4 different esports, 64 different teams, 400 plus players, I'm beat. I'm so tired. So looking forward to getting back home. Looking forward to covering some NA Rocket League and some watch parties this week and talking about stuff. But that is going to do it for me. If you guys enjoy the content, as always, like, subscribe, notifications. You guys know what to do. Let me know in the comments down below your favorite moments. Maybe you guys should leave me some comments about like matches I need to go back and look at, or certain plays that I have to go check out and bring up on stream this week. Any of that kind of stuff would be greatly appreciated. But I'm gonna go change, get out of my suit, and put on something comfy, and maybe go down to the bar and have a couple drinks because it's well earned this weekend. So I will see you guys all next time. Have a good one. Peace.